Hi everyone, good to see you for today's live conversation. I am so excited to have you all watching us today. I have a special guest who's joining me for today's conversation, and we'll talk about how to keep going despite defeat, the small changes that you can make in your life to make a true big change. So today's guest is Deepika Sandhu, who is an author at our upcoming Women Thrive book. Hi Deepika, how are you?
Hello, it's so nice to be here.
It's good to have you be back here. We've been connecting for such a while, and you were one of our speakers at the Women Thrive Summit last year. You're an incredible and inspiring woman, multiple books author, you have multiple businesses, and now you also do authenticity coaching. Deepika, tell me a little bit more about yourself to our audience, just a quick background story of who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I am a Silicon Valley-based business executive, and that was my identity for so very long. Like so many people out there, I cherished and believed that what I was doing professionally was my entire identity. And I was really good at it. I still am, in fact. And I spent my entire life just checking all the boxes of my life, doing everything that everyone told me would make you happy. You know, getting good grades in school, going to a good college, getting a good job, getting promoted at that job, just busy checking everything off my to-do list like it was some kind of professional sport. And I did it in my personal life too, right? Finding Mr. Right, having a kid, having the house, the vacations, the clothes, all of it. I'm trying to create this beautiful image of what a good life actually looks like. But then I found myself after all of that really curled up on the floor of my closet crying, just wondering why, after all these years, if I did everything right, why did everything feel so wrong? And that's when I realized, and I think that a lot of women can relate to this, is I realized I had been spending my life curating this image of who I wanted to be, what I thought success looked like, what I thought living a good life looked like. But I never really stopped to ask myself if any of what I was curating, any of what I was creating was actually what I wanted for me. Was it actually my purpose? Was it actually what gave me joy? I don't even think I knew what gave me joy or what made me happy anymore because I was too busy living this life that I thought you live as an adult, that you're supposed to do as an adult.
Wow, and I think we as women, we tend to do this so well, as in serving everybody else and thinking about everybody else. And we kind of the last one on that checklist to tick off. Are you
Exactly.
happy, right? That my own happiness comes at the last list, last thing on the list.
Yeah, it comes to the last thing on the list, or we think, well, we are happy doing this job, or we are happy raising our kids, and we are happy hosting all the parties and, doing everything and posting all the smiles on social media. And at some level, we are. But I think what happens is when you really scratch the surface of all those things, you realize that underneath it, are you really doing what lights your soul on fire? Are you really wanting to jump out of bed every day? Or are you wanting to put that pillow over your head and stay in bed and not get out because you don't want to face your day, because you don't actually enjoy what you're doing? And this was a really huge realization for me, right? How could everything that I thought I wanted and needed, how could none of it be making me happy? And that
Mm.
was scary. That was a scary place to land, to come to that realization.
So we're talking about how to keep going. I know before we started, you like, I just had this on my mind of like, how can we keep going? Because life gets in the way, it knocks us down sometimes. We face defeat, we face trauma. And there's sometimes that inclination of, should I just give up? Because life
Mhm.
gets hard. What are your insights on kind of maintaining that purpose and mission when sometimes the life gets hard?
Yeah, this idea of keeping going is so important. One is before you can keep going towards what it is you're trying to create for yourself, it's actually honoring that little spark, that little voice within you that starts to say something here doesn't feel right, right? Something here could be different than what I am doing today. And getting to that place where you can recognize that that voice is saying something valid and you actually need to listen to it, that is huge. And for me, that voice got so loud that I realized waking up at 40, that was now 5 years ago, but waking up at 40, I decided I was not going to wake up at 50 feeling this way in my life. Something had to change. And I honored that voice that I was hearing within me. I didn't know how. I had no idea how things were going to change, what was going to change, the direction life would take. I just knew that if I was getting that internal spark constantly of something needs to be different, that I needed to honor it. But that's when things get hard, right? Because you've got to shake up the way that you're actually living this life, right? And I didn't know the how, but I was allowing it to unfold for me. And it did get really hard because so much of that life that I carefully curated and created was getting dismantled, right? It was sort of falling apart because I was also getting unstuck out of it. And it was in those moments, in those really low moments, and some really difficult moments, that I also had to honor that other voice within that kept saying, keep going, right? Because along the way, it wasn't easy, but there was still, even in the hardest moments, there was that nudge, that knowing, that feeling that you are meant to keep going. And that's where that triumph after tragedy, which is or triumph after trauma, which is the chapter in the new book that we're talking about today, comes from, is this knowing that you can move into what's coming, but it's not going to be easy. And you've got to be willing to get there. But I will say 5 years after my situation, my change, that resolution to not wake up at 50 feeling the same way I did at 40, life is dramatically different, right? All because I honored, one, that initial voice that said something has to change here, and two, that voice that kept popping up along the way of my journey that said, keep going, keep going.
Sometimes I think about what would have happened if I've given up at the moments of close to defeat or moments of doubt. And where would I be today? Would I be fulfilling my mission, my purpose, and living my dream? Or would I have to be going and doing things that perhaps does not make me happy? So sometimes what choice do you have to not pursue your bigger mission and your goal? What does it look like? Giving up, what does it look like? Right? And the thing that keeps me going is I'll never give up on me. I can't give up on myself. And then sometimes when it gets really tough, I start to think, I will never give up on the people I'm here to serve. If I'm giving up on myself, but I can't give up because of others. If I can get through this, better this be my testimony that it's possible. And that's a similar story that I share in my book, in my chapter of the book. So let's talk a little bit about this book. So together, alongside a few other ladies, we have written a chapter each in our collaborative book, The Women Thrive. Women sharing their inspirational and true stories of overcoming adversity. Deepika, how is it for you becoming an author? Again, you've got 2 amazing books out already and doing it for the 3rd time. What's your experience as an author?
You know, it's beautiful. I mean, I salute the women in the book that are doing this for the first time, because I do remember my first time publishing my debut book, Hello Universe, It's Me, and it was really incredible. I followed that with a children's book that was a true inspired creation called When Soha Comes to Town. And now the 3rd time, I can tell you, I still have the jitters and I still had the fear. So there's jitters because you're like, oh, this is coming out. How will it do? Will people read it? And you're curious about what the audience feedback will be. But there's also this degree of fear, and it's happening the 3rd time too. And as much as I talk about my story, it still makes me nervous to share it over and over again. I share it in Hello Universe, It's Me, and I share more of it in women thrive. And that fear is still there. But I always say fear and excitement are the same sides of an energy, or opposite sides of an energy coin, right? And it's just what we choose to label it, right? So part of it is fear because you don't know what people will think. You're afraid to keep unveiling the kimono and showing more and more of yourself to people. But it is also really exciting because, like you said a moment ago, I do this to inspire people that they can make the changes in their life. Even if life seems good, and by every external marker it is good, you may still have reasons that you want to move your life forward, things you want to feel different. You want to live that life that's going to set your soul on fire. You want to wake up excited and motivated and like life is so full and compelling for you in every possible way. I do it for that. And so I know that on the other side of my fear is going to be that moment of inspiration that helps somebody else change. So I am really excited about this book. It's been such an honor to collaborate with so many beautiful women sharing their stories. You know, we've got stories about adversity and injustice and racism and divorce and all sorts of abuse and trauma. It's incredible. It's just incredible. And kudos to you, Raymonda, for putting together this assortment of women who are ready to share these inspiring stories.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been, oof, I get goosebumps saying it. It's just been amazing, amazing journey. And it's not a big group of us, which made it so intimate. So it's just 8 of us in total. And it's just, it was such a beautiful and intimate experience. And as you say, it's not easy to share your story because there's always doubt and fear and self-judgment and self-questioning. But the bigger purpose, and the purpose not only just as Women Thrive in general, but this book is to touch as many lives as we can and give that hope and encouragement that together we can really rise and thrive. But two, that adversity does not have to define you and it does not kill you, right? And you can get through it. And on the other side, the women who have written their chapters, they achieved some phenomenal, amazing things. They stepped into their power, they stepped into their purpose, they're changing millions of lives right now. And just to think that they were in a depth of defeat and adversity, but managed to turn it all around. For me, when I was reading every chapter in the book in preparation for this, I was like, wow, like, I know you guys are amazing because when we worked through this together, but then reading every chapter once again, I just had tears in my eyes. So like, I
Wow.
hope that this book is going to transform so many lives. And that's my personal hope for it.
It is. And honestly, if it transforms one life, there's power in that too, right? It will impact so many. And I think that women can realize that you can thrive. You can thrive no matter what life has brought your way, no matter what types of tragedy, trauma, stressors you have faced. You can thrive. And I think this book is just packed full of those beautiful stories that help you say, oh, yeah, I can. I can. Absolutely, I can.
Yeah, that's what makes me so encouraged. I remember when, we had, women to come together through the Women Thrive Summit, which you were part of last year. And then some time later, others would come and say, hey, I was part of this summit and it made such a big difference or it changed my life, inspired, I made so many connections. So this Saturday, and today's Friday, February 24th, this Saturday we have our official book launch. So we are doing a virtual book event launch, which we're inviting you to participate. So this event will be featuring all of our speakers, all of our authors who will be speaking at this event. This is an opportunity for you to get to know them, just like we're getting to know Deepika right now. But this is such a good opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about them, connect with these amazing women. Our authors are from US, from UK, Europe, and Australia. So all continents, where we're from different parts of the world, what unites us is the desire and the mission to impact women's lives in a positive way. So I hope you get to join us. It's womentthrivesummit.com/book. Go ahead and save your spot. If you don't get to attend this event, not to worry, you can still register. We'll send you a replay to it. You can still watch it on Sunday morning and enjoy the inspiration and the beautiful stories shared. And you will get to purchase your book on Kindle this Saturday. So after the event, we will release the details of how to purchase your Kindle book, as well as a paperback that is going to be released on the 28th of February. So just in time for Women's History Month. Deepika, Women's History Month is around the corner. What significance does it have for you, and how do you think that women can make a history today?
Oh, I think, what's making me think of is write your story for you and for the women that are coming right behind you. I always think of myself sharing my story so openly and I would say courageously with others as a way to show my daughter, how I want her to live her life, right? That you can expect the very best from yourself, from your life, expect more, and receive more each and every day. In fact, my daily journal entries to my daughter are written to my daughter. And I have this vision of her as a grown-up with her own complexities, reading these journals and having a insight into her mom as a, far more complex woman triumphing after all the different things that she dealt with. To me, that's women's history, right? Share your story, even if it's at a micro level for your kids, for your family. Share it for others to get inspired and to move forward. We walk in each other's footsteps, right? We really walk through the trail that's been set for us. So set it for others and keep going.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful for you to do that, because adversity or difficult times in your life will come, and they don't have to look like a big chaos, like a bomb's going off, right? It might be just small things that you have to overcome on a daily basis. And these are the daily things that we can start making changes to. So before we leave today, what small changes could be made to help people change their lives?
Oh, it's such a great question, because when I went through my change in my life, I couldn't jet off to like Italy or Indonesia or India like Julia Roberts does and eat, pray, love and go find myself somewhere. I had a little kid at home and I had to find myself right inside my normal everyday life. And this is exactly what I support my clients in doing as well, right? Because the real shifts have to happen in the place that you are, right? You don't want to leave those epic breakthroughs that you get on the beach in Bali. You want to do them inside your normal everyday life and creating the structures within your day-to-day life that allow those breakthroughs, those lasting insights to come in and create real change for you. That's where the power is. And for me, so much of that has come through silence, right? Creating a day that is not so jam-packed, that is not so busy, that is not so chaotic, right? And giving myself these beautiful pockets of silence. Sometimes they're not long, I'll say that, right? Busy mom, working mom, all of that, like so many of you out there. But giving myself these pockets of silence for whatever needs to come up from within to have its space, right? And to allow for those insights to come, to flow, to create that change. That's been one of the most powerful day-to-day shifts that I have made that has really supported lasting change for me.
Beautiful. I love that. Well, Deepika, if anyone wanted to connect with you, where could they do so?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at deepikasandhu.co. You can also find me over on LinkedIn. I post daily over there and have a big community. So would love to see you all on LinkedIn as well. And you can find all the links on my website at deepikasandhu.co.
Amazing. And the name of the book, if anybody wanted to purchase your first book?
Hello Universe, It's Me, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold. Yeah.
Yes. So do make sure you keep an eye out. You first of all, connect with Deepika, grab the copy of her first book, which is truly inspirational, and I got the pleasure to not only work with you, but also really to follow your journey and get to know your story, which has been just amazing. But now we get to celebrate our amazing book that's coming out next week, which is amazing, and inspire and impact other people's lives. So, this is what I'm truly excited about. If you're watching this live up to here, up to this point, I would love for you to share this with your audience. Every share I truly appreciate, because this helps us reach more women around the world, and men, of course. But our goal is to reach 1 million people around the world every year to make a positive social impact and to inspire, encourage someone not to give up and to create a big difference in the world. So that's our goal. And every share just makes a huge difference, because you never know who might be going through a tough time, a challenge right now, and it could be at the verge of just giving up. And what a devastation it could be to the world. So I invite you to share this live right now with as many people as you can, and also participate at the Women Thrive book launch, which is happening the 25th of February, and the book that's coming out at the end of this month. And I hope you grab your copy, because I think you'll be inspired. Deepika, thank you for your time today. It's been a beautiful time spending together.
Thank you, Raimonda, and everything that you do to inspire women. It's so powerful. So thank you as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I look forward to seeing you all at the book launch. And for now, thank you so much. I hope you stay connected and connect with Deepika. Let her know you watched this conversation with us. Look forward to seeing you on another live. Take care for now.